Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Powerful Man Show. I'm your host, Doug Holt, with my co-host, the founder, Tim, the Powerful Man Matthews. What's going on, brother?
Founder. Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
A little ego boost every time you say that. I always like it.
I know you do. I know. That's why I do it. Because I love you, man. I love you.
Thank you.
So, Tim, we have an auspicious holiday coming up that all men know and many men dread, though some love it. Valentine's Day is around the corner here as we record this. So, Tim, what do you do for Valentine's Day for Amelia when it's coming up? You know, not what you do. There's an ideal, right, version of all of us guys of what we want to do, but what are you going to do?
Maybe a killjoy. Nothing.
Yeah.
We don't celebrate.
Okay.
We've never have. We don't do anything for it.
And that's another episode. No.
Yeah. Well, the truth is, I mean,
every day
why?
Valentine's Day at Matthew's house.
Yeah, that's the truth. You know, why? I'm not saying why as in, you know, anyone that does you know, why the hell do you do it? It's just for us, the life that we've chosen for ourselves and the relationship. You know, something I love about us, Doug, is the fact that we're not material people. You know, you and Erin and Amelia and I are very similar. You know, it's ironic how you've just sold your camper van. Well, it wasn't a camper van, was it? It was a big, you know, traveling van. And in April, we're hiring one to go and tour around the north of Scotland. And Amelia's looking at them like, we should get one of these. And, you know, we'd rather spend money on, well, invest money into experiences that we can have together really deepen the connection, because, you know, that's where that opens doors to lots of other things, right? Not the label of Valentine's Day. So once a year, I'll turn it on and I'll make an effort and I'll think about things. If I did that with Amelia, and I think if I didn't do anything the rest of the year, I don't think Valentine's Day would be a success anyway.
I think you're 100% right. But probably more importantly now is why I want to know when in April I need to be in Northern Scotland to join the tour, the tour bus. It sounds like an awesome trip.
Oh, man, yeah. 10 days. Packing up wherever, cooking food by the side of rivers and stars above.
Oh, sounds ideal. Well, we have room for 4 more. They can practice taking care of my kids during the time, and Aaron and I can go out and have some fun. So, are you going to Northern Scotland to see Lee and his?
We will see Lee as well. Yeah.
Oh gosh, it's awesome. I was thinking about that. It's so funny. I was thinking about it this morning of just buying a ticket and just making myself go, right? Like, because it's always like someday I'm gonna go to Lee's restaurant, but I want to show up and surprise Lee. I don't want him to know that I'm coming. Anyway,
well, if he listens to this show, then obviously he's gonna have an idea. But in terms of, I mean, I know one of the guys posted in the Brotherhood this week, didn't he, about Valentines and, you know, hey, it's around the corner. What are you doing? What are you gonna get? I'm not too sure what the response was. I've not had a look since, but, you know, thinking about the guys that listen to this show, you know, because I think I've kind of killed the intro, right, by saying, hey, I don't do anything.
No, you can always, there's plenty. I do stuff.
Okay. Well, what do you do? And does it work?
So Aaron and I have a similar philosophy as you and Amelia. However, my thought process is that even though we don't celebrate it, so to speak, I also know my wife is on social media. Her girlfriends are doing stuff. She's human, right? She's a coach. She's done the work that you and I have done, etc. I still want to make sure she feels special on that day, because it's human nature to have a little bit of comparison, right? Just a little bit, naturally or non-naturally. And women are social creatures. There's no doubt about that. They're like pack animals, and I mean that in the nicest way. But they definitely are social creatures, more so than men. Men, we can be very logically bound, isolated. Women are going to be social. They're going to be on Instagram, Facebook. So I do something a little special, right? Oftentimes there's the try to do Doug, and there's the actual do Doug, right? The try to do Doug is very romantic.
You should go back and listen to the previous podcast episode.
Exactly. And so hopefully I'll plan out far enough, and I do this, and I'll do something. My wife loves quality time, right? We have, like you said, we have that Sprinter van we converted. So we'll go out, we'll go camping. I'll surprise her by cooking a nice meal. And then I'll usually have photos arranged because she loves photos, into a photo book. I've made her tons of photo books. I've made her a chest. I shouldn't say I made it. I designed it and had somebody else make, these etched chests and do things like that that are romantic. I've done scavenger hunts in the past, Tim. I've done picnics inside of our house. I've taken her to restaurants. I've done all that. And so what I think the key is just saying, hey, I'm thinking about you. Not only am I thinking about you, but I put thought into this ahead of time. And I think it's a lot of, when I look back at my past, I think that's where I fell short in the past, personally. Not just Valentine's Day, but other times. Because I think as a woman, she wants to feel special every day, right? Who doesn't? But she doesn't want you just to book a last minute restaurant, right? She wants to know that you put some time, effort, and thought into her. And it just happens to be a date where a lot of people do it. It's a marketing date, right? We all get that. It's just a way for companies to make money. However, you don't have to spend money. You can cook at home and put some candles and throw a picnic blanket on the floor of your living room. And I've done that before. And you can do all kinds of things like that. But the idea is putting thought into it and making sure. So going back to your idea that there's one of the guys in the Brotherhood put a post, he had already ordered 3 items for Valentine's Day to come. They were also thoughtful items. They're items that weren't just expensive. In fact, I don't think any of them were expensive, but they were the kinds of things that had a lot of thought put into them that he had designed and put together. Now here, he posted that, 3-4 days ago as we record this. So almost more than a month out, he had already put a lot of thought into that day, into that celebration for his wife. And I think that's what makes Valentine's Day special.
Maybe I should celebrate this year.
Well, I mean, something to consider, right? It's Amelia probably doesn't care, or she says she doesn't. There might be a little inkling. I would bet if you did just something a little special for her on Valentine's Day, she would share that with her girlfriends, right? They will talk. Yeah. I'll bet you she does.
I bet she wouldn't.
You don't think she'll tell any of her girlfriends that you're doing something that you did something nice for her on Valentine's Day?
I
think you are.
I don't. There's one that I think she might. They've got like a WhatsApp chat. WhatsApp. Oh God, I can't speak. WhatsApp chat, and she doesn't really get involved with it all. She doesn't get involved with it all.
And why is she in it?
I don't know. She mutes it. I don't think any of them listen to this show, but yeah, she mutes it, and it's interesting because we do. I feel like, and I believe this to be true. If you were to ask her, I think you'd get the same response. I do things for her often. Whether it's her love language as well as quality time and acts of service. Now it's changed. So I get to expel a lot more energy. So, things for her that are really important are the little things, making sure I pick up after myself, my clothes are all over the place. After I make some food downstairs, I make sure my things are away. I know this isn't things for her, but, I'll get to that. And when I'm cooking on the evening, if I go to the store and I'll make sure I call her and, what do you want? I thought you could get this, and I'll cook it for us, and we'll eat dinner together, and the music will be on, and the TV will be off, and all those little things. And we've got a lot of trips planned as well. I mean, as we're talking,
those are normal things, bro. Those are
yeah.
I think you're missing the point of the idea of something special above and beyond. Picking up your clothes and putting things in your dishes.
You don't let me. I don't think that because I pick up my clothes that's something
those
for
are
Amelia.
Things that make a Valentine's Day or something like that special. Now, I happen to know that you do a lot of special things for Amelia above and beyond that, but the average listener may not.
Yeah, well, that's definitely not what I'm saying. I'm not saying, hey, I don't need to celebrate Valentine's Day.
I also celebrate Valentine's Day because I don't make her pick up my clothes after me. My point here, Tim, I think it's great that you pick up your clothes. But my point is that potentially Amelia is on this WhatsApp channel, for example. She goes out with her girlfriends and they go out because you go out and hang out with Johnny or somebody else, right, at times. You guys have a very healthy relationship that you do different things, right? You don't have to always be together. The girlfriends are going to talk about, hey, my husband, my boyfriend did this for me, da 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 da. And at some cognitive level or below cognition, some level, I can bet you it'll be nice for her to turn around and say, yeah, Tim did this really nice thing for me. Now she can go around and say, well, I don't really care and all these things. And a lot of people will say that. However, my guess, and maybe we try it this year and you can tell me how wrong I am, that if you did something nice for her above and beyond your normal things like doing your dishes, that
Shut up.
that she'd like it. She'd enjoy it. Everybody likes someone doing something special for them. And she would tell her girlfriends about it, right? She would tell them, oh, Johnny did this for me. Fred did this for me. And she would just say, oh yeah, Tim and I normally don't celebrate, but Tim did X, Y, Z or X, Y, Z, right? For me in doing that. Now I could be totally wrong. I've been wrong before. I'm not a betting man, as you know, Tim, unless I know I'm going to win, and I would bet on this one.
I am reflecting. Obviously, she'd like it if I did something for her, right? Whatever time of year it is, of course she would.
Of course.
Whether she'd tell her girlfriends, I don't know. It's beside the point. She'd definitely like it. Of course, she would like it. But what I think more to the point here, I don't think it would be anything out of the norm if I did something. I don't think she'd be shocked by it and be like, "Oh my god, wow, I'm woo,"
Yeah.
We don't. For the most part, the type of life that we've designed, what it's like. She doesn't work. She gets to, has a personal trainer. She has memberships at 2 different gyms. She gets to go and volunteer walking dogs. She looks after our 2 dogs. She goes and sees her dad and, goes and gets her nails done and her hair. And, we go on loads of trips. You know what I mean? She lives a great life, right? A very good life. Yeah. We go on a lot of trips, all of it. So we go hiking every week. It's like, there's one thing that's coming to mind that I've wanted to do for a while, though. And she's not been to this place, and I have, and I love it. It's nearby. It's about an hour away. It's this like a health spa. It's actually where the network had their event.
Oh yeah.
It's called.
Maybe talking about it.
Gorgeous place, yeah. So I would like to take her there. Thinking about it, and maybe is Valentine's the impetus or the shove? Maybe it could be. I think if I gave it to her as a Valentine's gift. It'd be interesting actually to see how she responds. We've actually it's just never been a thing to celebrate between us. So I wonder, I'll try it, Doug, just to see if you got this curious look on your face, just to see, if I have an opportunity to prove you wrong, which I think I do, then I'm going to take it. And
then I also want to be involved in what you do, right? It's got to be something special. And not just something that you benefit from per se, but send her to the spa.
Oh, I'm going as well.
Yeah, see, that's the difference, right? Do something for her that's outside of Tim, right? And that could be a potential.
Yeah. I love that place. Now the rules have changed.
Well, that's selfish,
I'm going to do something.
And I get it, and I love you for it, and I'd want to do the same thing. However, that's missing the point, in my opinion, and I bring this up, and it's perfect. I'm not picking on you, and you and I are like brothers, so we go back and forth all the time. If people haven't heard the podcast before, or haven't met us in person, I pick on everybody, right? And I only pick on the people I like. But the point is, there's a lot of guys listening to this that have been in trouble for not doing something for Valentine's Day or whatever. And Valentine's Day can become an excuse for a breakup or end of a marriage or a relationship because what it does is it stretches out things that have been brewing in the past, right? For you and Amelia, not going to be a problem. For Aaron and I, not going to be an issue. But for a lot of the men, missing Valentine's Day can be that straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. And that's
very true.
The stacking of past neglect, right? He's always working. He doesn't care. He's not where he should be. I checked the phone, and he said he was going to the gym, and his iPhone attracted, or his Android went somewhere else, or whatever. We've heard it all. And so that's where we can talk about actually putting some thought into it. One of the things that Aaron and I have done in the past for each other or individually to the other person And that's where I think Valentine's Day becomes really special, is when you do something without your involvement or without the idea of receiving something in return, right? Different levels of relationship. And when you do something for somebody where you get no benefit other than the act of giving, totally different playing field. And one of the things that we've done is we constantly, year after year, is we gift ourselves growth opportunities. Could be a book, could be a course, could be a coach, could be a lot of things. Now, I know you're looking at a program for, right now, that could be a good opportunity to package it up, right? And give yourself growth. 1 year for myself, what I did for my wife is I took a course, just me, on how to be a better husband, essentially, right? One thing my wife would like me to do is cook more, right? I don't cook. My wife does all the cooking. And so for this Valentine's Day, right, one thing I'm considering doing is getting cooking lessons for myself.
Considering,
right? I really
make
am.
a decision. Yeah, come on. You're giving me the slack. Make a decision, Doug. Are you going to do it? Are you?
Well, I'm weighing on a number of things, right? We have a new baby coming in, Tim. So for me to go out of the house to go to do a cooking school might actually set my wife back. She might actually rather go to the cooking school or spa by herself and have me take care of the kids. So
yeah, true.
That's where we're looking at, or getting, we have meal delivery service and those things to take care of our family. But how do I do something for her? The point is, sometimes doing something for the other person is taking care of yourself, is what I'm saying, right? Sometimes it's doing stuff like picking up your clothes. There's a lot of guys on here. It's a joke between you and I, because we've had a deep conversation about what picking up your clothes really means.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
It's a big deal, right? And so guys, if you're listening to this and you're in a relationship and you're not picking up your clothes, you are the little boy and you're making your woman be your mom. That's not sexy. It's not sexy at all. And I know most people don't think about it, but picking up your clothes, cleaning up after yourself is what a man does, right? If you want your woman to have sex with you and be intimate, and yet you're making her your mom, whatever. So those are kinds of things. But for Valentine's Day, put some thought into it. Do something creative. Like for Amelia, what I know of her is animals are her thing. Like what if you could do something really special that involved going to, a shelter and she gets behind the scenes tour. I don't know. You can look into something like that, or a private tour, or meeting with, one of the world's top dog trainers. That's not something you're particularly interested in, but it's something that she would absolutely adore and love. Like those are the kinds of things that have a lot of thought into them, because now you're thinking of Amelia, your partner, rather than what is Tim. Oh, I love the spa, and we'll go, and we'll both go get a massage.
Yeah,
you can still take her. I think it's awesome, and you're a really romantic guy, Tim. You and I've talked about, and things you do for Amelia on a regular basis are very touching. So, what if we applied this to just one day? But for the guys that are listening, there's a lot of guys that listen to the show that are struggling. They're struggling in the area of their relationships, right, with their spouse. Many of them, their spouse has either cheated on them, or their spouse has either said, hey, it's over, or I'm 1 foot out the door, and they know it, or they're so far apart. Use Valentine's Day as a way of coming clean. And you've listened to the podcast, go to past episodes where Tim talks about the process of coming clean and being transparent, and do that on Valentine's Day. But also show her that you're doing something. Invest in yourself. It doesn't have to be the activation method in the Powerful Man, but do something to invest in yourself, and show her that you are taking massive action to be a better man. To be a better man, not only for her, but a better man for yourself. That's sexy. You're taking care of you. If you can't take care of you, you can't take care of her. So take care of yourself. That's the primary base step, right? It's the foundation of your house. Then you can start building upon that, right? Then you can start salvaging the relationship, but you need to take care of yourself first. So that's what I would recommend for Valentine's Day. Take care of yourself first, build that solid foundation. And for me, maybe that's going to cooking school, right? Taking a cooking class. The problem is I actually know how to cook. I just don't like to, but don't tell my wife. But it's actually doing something like that and getting education and bettering yourself as a man. Then on top of that, do something very thoughtful for her that doesn't involve you getting a benefit out of it.
Yeah, I think the key there is, like you said, doesn't involve you getting a benefit. Because for my mind, I would not have got away. Well, in my previous relationship, not celebrating Valentine's was like a big no-no. I think for her, it was that one day a year. No, that one day a year where she could like have some kind of excuse to be adorned upon, or she had her own work to do. But anyway, point being is, I think in the past, prehistorically, all the marketing you see around Valentine's Day is chocolates or a meal or sexy underwear or whatever, and they all involve the man as well, right? I think you raise a great point about doing something for her that doesn't involve you. Going for dinner even, you get to reap the rewards of that, right? Going for sexy underwear, getting her sexy underwear, who really is that for? Nothing wrong with that. I'm just, affirming your point. 'Cause, yeah, I think you make a good point. I think for me, it's great, right? Because regardless of how good or great the relationship is, there's always room to improve. And I would say for me, one area that I could improve upon would be to just put some conscious thought into what could I do what could I gift Amelia, not just on Valentine's Day, but what could I gift her that doesn't involve me. Certain things I already do, but they can be more just things that you would do in a good healthy relationship anyway, right? To support one another and help one another out. But I think there's a layer above and beyond this, above and beyond the trips and all the rest of this, where I could put some effort into selfless acts.
Yeah, that's just it. And here's a couple bonus points, guys. Couple bonus points, and one warning. One is, don't get your wife a personal development course or cooking class or vacuum for Valentine's Day. But kind of niche tips is, we all know when Valentine's Day is. 4 or 5 days before that, celebrate Valentine's Day. So then you screw over all the men around her, all of her friends' husbands, because you'll do something big ahead of everybody else. That gives her her own special day to do that the day before. And the second thing is, do it the day before, but then also do something special and make it public, right? A public declaration of love goes a long way, a long way. That could be a Facebook post or what have you, but do something special just for her and then celebrate her, right? Celebrate her greatness, right? Something that I've done before and I've seen a lot of the men do is, pick a number, 20, how long you've been married or whatever. Maybe it's 6 years or been together with Amelia. Tim, how long have you been with Amelia? Do you know?
We don't really know that either.
Cool. Well, it's
about 5 years, 5 or 6 years.
5 or 6 years. Then you can say 6 reasons this has been my best decision is being with you, or something along those lines. And make it touching. Again, it's got to be thought provoking. If you just go to Amazon and buy something, that's okay, right? But really make it a personalization and something that you can really want to do, guys. This is your chance and act now. As soon as you've seen this podcast, do something. And if you're at the office, grab a piece of paper and just scribble something out. I love you because, and list 6 reasons. Fold it up like a card you would have given your mom when you're 6 years old. That's going to go a lot further than going to the local store and buying a card that somebody else wrote and just signing your name to it.
Yeah, for sure. One of those cheap, tacky Valentine's cards.
Yeah, you buy with a 6-pack of beer on the way out the store. All right, gentlemen, that wraps up another episode of the Powerful Man Show. If you haven't already, go over to thealphareset.com, where you can get more information about the activation method, as well as the training from Tim, the Powerful Man Matthews himself, and get a chance to get on a call with one of our master coaches or one of our existing guys that graduated the program. Some of those guys are happy to jump on the call as well, just because they're supporting what we're doing and men around the world just like you. Until then, guys, take action. We'll see you next time on the Powerful Man Show.